Hello and peace, greetings, and good morning from Singapore, Magical Monday. Welcome to the Solutions for Wellbeing series, number 9. Welcome. And Kate, how do you feel? And we have a special guest in the house, Dr. Manijeh. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Dr. Manijeh, welcome to our studio. I am doing fabulous. I had a morning run and I'm ready to speak up about mental wellness with Dr. Manijeh, our special guest, and Dr. Azeeza.
Fantastic. And I'm so excited about this. After weekend, we all have rested, and that is the normal conversation that people have. Weekends are for resting, and then we work on the weekdays. And as organizations, we have created this pattern. And interestingly, what has happened over the last 1.5 years, I feel like maybe that has been a little shaken too, because you may even be working on Sundays because we all work from home. So this is the biggest. Many people work from home. This has been the journey. So Dr. Kate, Kate, do you want to introduce Dr. Manijeh to us?
Certainly. Hello, everyone. Dr. Manijeh Motaghy is an organizational psychologist. She's a certified mindfulness facilitator and UCLA Mark affiliated mindfulness teacher with 3 conscious leadership certificates from Mindful NYU. She's my colleague there. She is the founder of Perfectly Here and Mindful Business Institute. She has over 15 years of 15 years of mindfulness practice and long retreat experience internationally. She has designed and taught hundreds of mindfulness curricula to thousands of people, trained corporations and executives. The result of decades of her higher education, practicing healing, teaching, training, she discovered and developed the 5 stages of human optimization model, a natural process human can evolve in a lifetime. Great for both individual development and educating coaches and trainers on what could take their clients to the next level. Wow, welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manijeh, to be part of this journey that we have taken on. As you said, this is episode number 9. We have been communicating with our professional organizations and friends on LinkedIn and various social and Facebook and other social media, and the intention of creating solutions for the well-being, mental well-being of organizations. So, and inspiring organizations to take their productivity, performance, and profits to the whole new level. So we are so excited to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yes. And so let's get into the conversation today. As when we are speaking about the organizations today in the world, there is so much of grief being discussed, and there is grief in various parts of our life, and it could be the present or it could be something of the past that we are holding on to. So, and I heard from Kate that you have an amazing story for us, and we'd love to talk into that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, grief is a very, natural part of our human process. Everybody experiences grief, but not everybody experiences the same way. It all depends on what we have learned growing up, how to respond, how to react, how to feel emotionally when we experience loss. And so there is a lot going on there with grief. And Kate referred to it because I have lost many people in my life, but most significantly, I lost my son, who was actually working with me too at 26 years old. And it was a very tragic loss. And I, my goodness, my brain exploded, and life ended. There was moments where I was just thinking, why is anybody alive? What's going on? Why am I alive? Questioning the entire system of nature. And And I would say, if a child dies, the mother should die. What kind of a system is this? You leave a mother behind to suffer like that. And a lot of pain, a lot of pain, unbearable pain. But, throughout all of my learning and growing and developing and practicing and healing, I had one thing in my mind, and that was my own desire and my own determination to be happy, to not live a life of, okay, I'm done. We know, I know in my culture and probably yours as well, that almost all who lose children, they're done. Mothers are done. They're done being happy. They're done being living life. Marriages could turn into divorce. It's a catastrophe, right? And I made a vow. I said, no, I will not be that person. And so self compassion was extremely important, because when I felt my own pain, my heart opened. My heart said, no, no, this is not, for me, it's not okay to have so much pain. And so, coming back to the well-being, mental well-being of any human being in any context, right? Would it be work or relationship or home? Because people may have tragedies at home, but they cannot bring it to work. They cannot, so if you're a leader of some sort, if you are a worker of some sort, and you have these things at home and you cannot voice them out, your bosses are not open to it. They are maybe compassionate to a certain level, but then like work has to be done, and they need you to be optimal and present and pain free. And it even makes it worse, because the person has to suppress those feelings, right? So the idea is to teach them, to train them. I believe that from the 5-stage model that I developed, I believe I have come to discover, from all the years of my own learning and practice and watching and working with people, I came to discover that we are not, see, we don't have a human manual. We don't come up with a manual that, oh, human beings should do. So we're all just trying to our best to, survive and to live. And so we make a lot of mistakes. We pick up a lot of wrong perspectives, wrong ways of going about life. We develop biases. We develop lack of understanding. We don't know what emotions are. We don't know what the brain does. We don't know what the heart is. So what are the heart qualities? We have it a little bit, but not really. It's kind of, to me, it's like, I don't know if you work with Excel, the spreadsheets to put some, you know, so when I work with Excel, I use it to put data in and maybe do some addition, subtraction, multiplication, a little organization. But my goodness, Excel can do so much more, right? So many more formulas and complex outcomes. So to me, it felt like there are features in our human software that we don't know, we don't utilize in the best maximum potential of it, like the qualities of the heart. The heart is very rich, extremely rich. The heart has compassion, the heart has loving kindness, generosity, peacefulness, or joy, right? But we use it circumstantially. If I have a wedding, I'm happy. If my sister has a child, I'm happy, right? But then there is so much more to it, like Excel. We don't use it. So to me, the answer is a lot of education and knowledge first. So those are the 5 stages of human optimization. First, we need knowledge about certain things, for example, life and death. I wish that when I was a child, they taught me about this, that things die, pets die, bugs die, people die, we all die, right? Do you do it? Right. No,
Definitely.
Dr. Manijeh, could I
Yes.
pause you here and could we um, improve our mic quality? We are sensing some breaks in there. Yes, Dr. Azeeza?
How am I gonna do it? Yeah, I don't know how. Let's see.
No, there is no break. She's doing well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Could
your
we?
internet. I think it's your internet is giving a bit of sound that is breaking it up. Yeah,
Okay, I'll fix it. Okay.
yeah,
So maybe Kate, you would mute yourself.
yeah. That's what we have done. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, technology. So yeah, so to me, I'm totally free now of the pain of grief. Of course, I'm not saying it doesn't hit me. The grief hits me and I feel it very intensely. It's a hurricane, it's a tsunami. I cry, I call my mother or somebody, and then it's done. When it's over, I don't carry it with me. It's not in the background weighing me down. It's not in the background making me feel miserable, hopeless, depressed, making me why? Because I have done all the work that I'm talking about. So this first step is certain uh, criteria, knowledge that we human beings do not have. It didn't come in our manual system. We need to learn them. Life and death, normalizing it. Impermanence, uncertainty, normalizing it, because it is, for example, change is a phenomena. It's something that is supposed to be, is a natural thing. Without it, there is no life. Nothing exists. So for us to understand change is supposed to be, and when you understand it, when you allow for it, then you also understand what leads to what choice, what thought, what action leads to what result, so that you could then have the change you want to, because that's going to happen anyways. You
Yeah.
go with the flow of it, right? Those are the couple of very quick examples. From knowledge, then you go into awareness of seeing, oh yeah, I can see, yeah, this such and such person died, such and the aunt died. You become aware of the reality of this knowledge, right? Step three is you develop skills around the knowledge, how you live your life in that way. And so, for example, with grief, you ask the question, right? Every time the pain would hit, and my mind would want to pick up, like, oh my God, oh my God, he's no longer here, all kinds of stories, right? I would i could know where it's leading. It's leading
Mm,
to no place good. It's leading to my suffering to no end. And that heart that I had developed, right, would come and say, no, I'm not
mm,
going to go there. And this doesn't mean, oh, I'm forgetting about him, all his memories are done, nothing like that. But it's my own development of not suffering in this lifetime. So you develop those skills. Fourth step is you transform, which means it becomes effortless now because the brain is involved. The brain will pick up these ways of living life and learning what's effective and will make it automatic for you.
mm,
The fifth stage is optimization. So, optimization is the process of several cycles of knowledge, awareness, development, transformation in various sort of aspects of life. When you have done this in different aspects of life, then you really become an optimized person. And these days there is a lot of spiritual awakening programs out there, which are lovely. And I kind of funny in a funny way, I say, okay, if enlightenment is not in sight, it's too far away. Try human software optimization. You could optimize yourself, right? And be happy, be
yes.
fulfilled, be content. And totally, I am so right now in this time of my life, I'm very content. Nothing bothers me. Anybody who is doing the wrong thing or they are saying the wrong thing, I could see it that they're not developed. That's all. That's all. There is nothing. It's not personal. It's not about me. It's not about. My mind is empty. My heart is full. My life is complete. And I'm single. My happiness doesn't depend on a circumstance to change, but it's
Yes.
developed within me. So this is what I recommend for people, organizations, and it's a whole kind of systemic development.
I love that. I love that. You said knowing, I'm going to say that again, awareness, development, transformation, and enlightenment. Is that the
Optimization, right? Yeah.
optimization is what you said?
Yeah, I said optimization. I say if enlightenment is too far away, then try optimization. you know, because we don't know what enlightenment is really, the goal of it, for example. We don't know what we're
Yeah,
shooting for. It's kind of, we're just speculating. But optimization, I know what it is. I'm content,
absolutely.
I'm fulfilled, I am wise, I am happy, I am kind, you know. So,
I feel so aligned to that conversation because, every human being is just wanting to optimize themselves. I mean, like all of us want to feel maximum in whatever that we do. We want to feel appreciated, and it's like, is that enough? Is always the question we ask. Are we optimum? Unconsciously, we are giving these signs to the world. So, can we recognize that and be, in that journey? That is the most important thing. So that is wonderful. Kate, do you want to try your mic again because I couldn't unmute you? Yes. Oh,
How is the mic right now?
yeah.
Very
There's
good.
some background sound, but go ahead.
Yeah. Dr. Manijeh, thanks for the share succinctly this time. Mm, when you share, I can feel the pain in me. And it could be also, if we go deeper into the cellular memory, we have the ability to empathize with anyone's story. You know, we can
yes.
really put ourselves into different person's shoes and relate with you, Dr. Manijeh. I want to honor your suffering and the triumph in this program you created for us, a shortcut, the human manual. Dr. Azeeza, how about you?
Yes, I so relate to that when she said about the manual. We don't come with a manual. Reminds me of Buckminster Fuller's conversation that he talks the same. He said that there's no human manual for spaceship Earth. So this is where we are, and wonderful to hear that she is able to come out as much as I can relate to it. I have three children, so this is something that is so close to any mother's heart, and not only mothers, fathers as well. And I personally had family who have lost two of their boys at one time,
Oh,
and that was like such a big one. So anyone goes through grief, and it need not be a loss in a physical loss. It could be an emotional loss. That in fact more people go through emotional loss, and I just love it when you say the importance of detaching, or rather coming into terms, the awareness and the acceptance, so that when we are in the corporate, in the organization, we, as much as we want others to understand, not everybody will be able to understand the deep hurt one can go through. So it is our personal responsibility to go through that process, like what Dr. Manijeh is talking about, going into our own responsibility of transforming that space into optimization of our human spirit. I just love what she's been sharing, and so important as we take it responsibility as leaders looking from outside, will be able to relate it, and then they step up their conscious leadership at a whole new level. I think that's very powerful.
yes. Thank you. Go ahead, Kate. Yeah.
A question here is short context. We are conditioned to externalize our pain and blame others. So, at what point, Dr. Manijeh, in your suffering, did you did you decide to say, okay, I'm going to take ownership of this pain. I'm going to flip it, paradigm, and bring it back to me? What
Yeah.
happened?
Well, are you talking about my grief example or in life example?
Your example.
Generally,
Sorry.
or with
Yeah.
grief?
Your example.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, from when I was a child, I think when I was 2, 3 years old, I was always looking for, I was moving away from crowds and family gatherings and whatever, and looking for, see what are the ants doing and what are what is the rock over there doing? Why is the rock hard? What is the rock trying to say? Really, I was very curious about what the nature does. And
Wow.
I always realize that when I'm in nature, nature is quiet, doesn't say anything. If I even talk to it, oh, what a beautiful, flower or tree or whatever, it doesn't talk back. so, so there is that possibility of dropping all of our stories, all of our thoughts, and just being and noticing that it's enough. There's actually enough. It's not only enough, it's very full. So I had this kind of experience, but then along the way, learning and growing, you pick up the way the culture, the family, the system works, and you model it. You copy it. You don't have your own thing. You copy other people's ways, religion, the way we people. And so that's when the problem starts, because not everybody has processed and investigated and looked into it. Not all the pieces we pick up are already effective. There are ways of, for example, one thing I had seen in my culture, where if somebody died, the people, women, would cry loud and hit themselves, very, very, very dramatic, right? And I picked that up as that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I didn't hit myself, but I remember my first time my grandmother passed away. It was extremely painful for me. I fainted. That was my way of reacting, to make it extra, extra, extra dramatic, right? If you made it very, very dramatic, that means you love more. You see, these are codes in our mind, human software we pick up. And if you suffer more, you are a better person. These are messages that I, at least from my growing up, I had picked up. The more you suffer, the better person you are. The more you give up yourself, the better person you are. The more you think of other people's well-being, the better person you are. I mean, there was a time when I asked my cousin one day, do you love yourself? He said, oh, I love myself. I said, how do you show yourself? He said, oh, I'm good to people. I'm good to everybody. I'm kind to everybody. And he didn't even hear my question. Do you love yourself? How do you show your love to yourself? So we don't pick up appropriate or effective, I would say, ways of thinking, ways of acting, ways of doing. So it became apparent to me that I'm suffering, I'm unhappy, I mean, after many years, and I need to take charge of this, because I realized nobody is taking charge for me. Nobody is fixing it. My poor ex-husband. So when I divorced, I said, oh, people would say, oh, I'm so sorry. I know, at least now I cannot blame him anymore for my unhappiness. I'm responsible now. I can't say if only he didn't do this or he did that or whatever. Now I'm responsible, right?
Yeah.
So then, because I had developed myself with mindfulness, with teachings that are very, very rich and very deep, so when my son passed away, I knew. I mean, one day I remember just the first like month or so. First month, I fainted every day. 35 days, every day I fainted. My brain would just shut down for the pain, right? And I remember walking. over to the balcony one day in the afternoon, and I thought, oh my God, that's a wrong, bad idea. During the pain of the grief, bad idea. I turned around and I said, I better go the other way because you can't trust, the pain. So there is that awareness that you develop. And it doesn't mean just because we have a model, now everybody gets it, that they can do it. They have to develop. And so when I was developing this model, I realized, oh, okay, so what is the model of those people who don't have this yet? There is another model that's already built that needs to be developed, right? That model is based on another 5 stage, which I'm talking about. That 5 stage starts with information. As you just are born, you pick up information from everywhere. You don't even know how to move your eyes, a baby, right? You have to learn how to move your head, where to, look. This is your mother, this is whatever. You learn everything. Information comes. Information is a lot of time faulty, wrong, right? Then forms perception. Perception is what you identify. Okay, this is mom, and there is a feeling tone that goes along with it. Is a good feeling or a bad feeling? This is, when I cry, she runs to me. When I smile, she loves it. She's happy. Oh, okay. So you see, we pick up, our brain picks up all these things. And so perception is formed. Most of the time, our perceptions are faulty. They are biased, you know? And so we build our perceptions based on top of faulty, faulty, faulty. It's a mess. It's a mess. And then the third thing becomes our habitual ways of living life through those perceptions. When you have lived this thing enough, maybe by the age of, I don't know, 7, 8, personality becomes a personality. When it's personality, the 5th stage is you're stuck. You're stuck. So I call that the 5 stages of being stuck and unhappy versus the 5 stages of development, transformation, and optimization.
Dr. Manijeh,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that 5 stages of optimization, our humanness. And as we're coming close to our 30-minute mark, I would like to connect the dot with what you're sharing with what Dr. Azeeza and I are doing in the corporate world. So Dr. Azeeza is the founder of GoGLOBAL Business School, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Why? Because she's bringing consciousness into the corporate organizations, and so her tagline is conscious capitalism. So with all the wealthy information that Dr. Manijeh you shared, Dr. Azeeza, question to you: how do we blend this gem into the business corporate world that is digestible and that can support the evolution of conscious capitalism?
Wow, this is going to be a very long conversation. I don't think we can cover this in 30 minutes for sure. That is a half an hour conversation for sure. A human development, the importance of consciousness in the human being as a corporate leader is the fundamental to bringing the heart and the soul into the business for it to thrive. So at this juncture, when there is a detachment of the soul from the soul of the business is not there, the consciousness level is not established, then whatever that you are doing is just mechanical, and that's where the capital market has been living for the longest time. So what Dr. Manijeh is sharing is how we humanize an organization, bringing forth a force to be reckoned with as an organization and as a team, the management with the staff and the whole ecosystem, rippling out this beautiful energy of compassion, and all the beautiful ways she mentioned can be supported by, as we also talked about in our previous sessions, the importance of taking responsibility individually and collectively. So I just love everything Dr. Manijeh was sharing. I mean, she had to go through so much, and our hearts with you. And I know you are this strong woman who has, blossomed out of the situation. So I'm sorry you had to go through what you go through to come out and share this beauty with us and giving us some manual. Hey, thank you so much.
My pleasure, of course. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. We can talk about it more and see how it is absolutely doable because we're talking about people are not developed. It's not just even lack of soul, but they don't know a better way. If they don't know a better way, how could they do better?
Yes,
How could they
absolutely.
do better? If you don't know other features of the Excel sheet, how are you going to use it? You can't. We need to put them through training and tell them why you need it. If you knew this, you would get that outcome for it, right? And because you don't have it, you're really suffering, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's possible. But thank you for having me on your show and
Thank you.
having this conversation with me. I appreciate it. I enjoyed
Oh,
it very much.
we have to thank you. And Kate, as the CEO of Life of Emerald, has been doing magnificent connections of like-minded, highly evolved, enlightened leaders. So, as much as we talk about enlighten, it's a journey, and we all know we go through the processes. So, I want to thank Kate for making these beautiful connections as well.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Dr. Azeeza, and thank you, Dr. Manijeh, for providing a beautiful value to our corporate listeners out there in LinkedIn. And love to welcome you back. Dr. Azeeza, we have one more show on Friday left. That would be
That's right.
about stories, tips, how did we survive this week? We would love to open up to the listeners and come and ask us questions on this Friday. This is our final episode of this series, and I'm open to cooking more shows like this with Dr. Azeeza and perhaps Dr. Manijeh when you have time. Let's see how can we support humanity.
Thank
Yes.
you so much. I'm in the process of finishing my book about this topic and publishing it soon. So I'm on sabbatical. Kate knows this right now. I'm not doing any teaching or businesses or anything, just really focused on this. But because Kate is so dear to me, I wanted to come and join your conversation today.
Oh, that is so sweet. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And this is pure wisdom, and we appreciate you for that as well. So, friends, when you're watching this, it's just a beautiful beginning to our magnificent, miraculous Monday that's going to set you forth with more clarity and power in your organizational growth. So, congratulations and have a blessed week ahead.
Very good. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you and good luck.
Bye bye.
See you later.
See you on Friday for the finale.